Today we are going to be commemorating the signing of O-24-1. It is going to be the city's nuisance abatement ordinance. We're also going to be highlighting one of our long-standing or long-time nuisance properties, 3611 Lombardy, that will be soon demolished. And with that, Mayor Tim Keller.
All right, thank you. So today, actually, we believe is going to mark a step change in the speed with which Albuquerque can process the challenges we're having around dilapidated buildings, drug houses, things of this nature that we know have plagued our city for a long time. And just by a very quick summary of background, this was an issue. I was born and raised here basically as long as I can remember, but I do know there was a lot of progress made, I think, in the early 2000s. Unfortunately, that was like too much progress. There were civil rights issues, there was a giant lawsuit, and then you kind of fast forward to about 10 years ago, this program was drastically scaled back. And I think years went by without any demolition or action at all. And when our administration came in, we said, we need to get back to doing this. It's what cities need to do, unfortunately. But of course, we're going to do it legally and appropriately. So we resuscitated this effort in general. And now I think we are seeing that it is really helping neighborhoods, both in terms of safety, public safety with respect to what can happen in these buildings, but also they're often now places where fires start that can endanger other houses near them. And so we're sharing with you all sorts of pictures of what these buildings look like. And I think when they get to this point, right, it is abundantly clear they are unsafe, both for people to be inside, but also for the surrounding neighborhood, which is why that we do have to tear them down. So again, it's something that we never want to have to do, but in a city our size, it's inevitable statistically that we need to be doing this. Now, the challenge in recent years has been, of course, that it takes too long. How many times have we heard neighbors in our community say, this building's been a problem for 9 years, 7 years, 3 years, etc. And our response is always, look, we have to follow the law. There are things like private property. And so we have to go through a process of doing this that includes city council. It can include the court system. But now the speed with which we do that, we think will be much more efficient, which hopefully will allow us to have an increase to the tune of, we'll see, but at least 10, 20 properties a year we think we'll be able to move faster on because of this new law. Now, we're going to hand it over to City Council in a moment to talk more about this, but I just want to share an example we're highlighting today is, of course, 3711 Lombardy Road. This has been a challenge since 2016, and again, the city has done everything we legally can, but because of the various processes, this can take a long, long time. But this is an example of something that has had 46 board ups, 234 code enforcement calls, 1 AFR call, and 125 police department calls. It's already cost the city over $20,000 and has nearly $50,000 in liens. So the obvious question is, why is this still up? Well, it has to do with these arcane procedures that we're streamlining. So we are going to be demolishing this property, or it will be demolished by the owner within 30 days. So we are going to finally take care of this within 30 days. But to connect this to the legislation that we're signing, with the help of Councilor Brook Bassan and the rest of council, we're basically making this a clearer, more straightforward path so that we're going to be able to do this, hopefully, on average, instead of 3 years, maybe it's like 2 years. That might sound like not that important, but the difference is the following. We started in 2021 with 10 demolitions, 2022 with 21, 2023 with 36. But we think based on the rate of progress, it's hard to do more than 40 a year unless we change the law. And that's what we're going to be signing today. So with more on this, our City Councilor, Brook Bassan.
Thank you. Thank you. It was really, I think, a privilege to be invited to work with the administration on this bill regarding streamlining the demolishment of certain dilapidated and substandard properties in Albuquerque. I think that, one of the big concerns is, are we taking away from private property rights and the private property owners? And that's not at all what this is doing. This is the planning department still going through the process of making sure that there's their due diligence so that the proper due process is happening. And then it comes to the council on appeal after a hearing officer has examined it if need be. But this is something that we're hearing from our city. We want to clean it up. We want to make it safer. And this is one way that it's going to happen, to where we can make that something that people will notice. Other people won't be inhabiting or vandalizing, and it won't be a further propulsion of negative visual and unsafe activity. So I'm very happy that the council passed this, and I look forward to seeing the progress in the future.
Thanks so much, Counselor. And with a little bit more details on this, our planning director, Alan Varela.
Everybody, thank you for being here. The Code Enforcement Department says what it means, and it means what it says. We're very serious about cleaning up the city. We don't drive around looking for bad properties. We have countless calls from neighbors wanting us to go and take care of a property. We base it on those complaints. And so when it does take 1 to 2 to 3 years, that means we've given the property owner every single chance possible to take care of it themselves. Hopefully to rehabilitate it, bring it up to code, put it into good use. If not, then to reach the difficult decision, which shouldn't be that difficult, to tear it down because it's simply too far gone. And if they simply won't do that, and there are endless complaints and dangers to the neighborhood and to society, then code enforcement does step in. We will start taking these now to the administrative hearing officer and ask for a demolition order. That will still give the property owner up to 90 days to tear it down, and if not, we'll be in there promptly afterwards to tear it down ourselves in order to clean the city up of this sort of blight. This also clears the path for new development. Somebody can then go in and take that lot, usually there are utilities already to the lot, it's a developed lot, and they can build something that a person would be happy to live in, just clean, decent, affordable housing. And so we're clearing the way for that as well. Thank you.
Thanks so much, Alan. So I think we're gonna just circle around and just commemorate the signing of this ordinance, and then we can do questions and so forth after that. Sound good? All right, so let's do the round here. And yeah, Counselor, you can sit there. Alan, if you want to sit there. And also, hey, nuisance team, you want to come on around? It's up to you, but anyone in the planning department, just for fun, since you helped write this. I feel like we have a musical accompaniment. Yeah. And
It's the audience listening.
yeah, the crowd is pleased. Or not. Okay, let's see, what's today's date? 15th? Okay, all right, great. So, I'm gonna see you around here. Or you can be gifted, up to you. Alright. Leave that one down.
Budget time.
It's true.
You didn't go
There's
through
a
the
fun
process
one.
of-
If you want, it's not, we have the wrong pen, but
Alright.
we'll get you the right pen later. All right, well, good job. Congratulations, everybody. She hasn't.
I haven't.
All right.
We have time for 1 or 2 questions? Y'all good?
Cool, all right, we'll hover, you can organize questions, sounds good.
Thank you. Thank you.
Yeah, good job on this.
Counting on me.
We're good?
They're gonna be